I always record.
Oh, okay. Have you got an ID with you?
No, sir.
You don't have one?
I don't. I've lost mine.
Okay.
Okay, I have a policy. Hold on 1 second. I'm just trying to find the thing.
A police auditor encountered a state trooper and began recording the interaction. The auditor expressed his habit of always recording and inquired if the trooper had an ID.
I just need to know who you are.
Hey, this is my insurance, and I sent in my payment of $91. I'm trying to find my policy number, though.
Okay.
Hold on. Don't have my policy number.
Give me a second. I'll be back with you.
Huh?
The trooper responded, stating that he did not possess an ID and had lost it. Sensing a potential issue, the auditor mentioned having a policy hold on the ID and expressed suspicion that the officer might attempt something inappropriate.
Number and effective date.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry it took me a minute to find it.
So who does the car come back to?
Both of us.
Both of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, it'll come back to Spencer.
Sir, what's your social security number?
I'm not giving my social.
Well,
you're not giving your information, so you're not going to tell me who you are. So I don't know. So you're John Doe right now. Because I'm trying to find out who you are. I mean, if you have any warrants on you or anything.
Well, in the state of Kentucky, you only have the ID if you committed a crime being lawfully arrested. I'm an auditor, sir. I know my rights.
The auditor then asked the trooper if he had anything with his name on it. Confused by the line of questioning, the trooper asked if he had committed a crime. The auditor clarified that he hadn't, but simply needed to know the trooper's identity. The trooper proceeded to search for his insurance information and mentioned sending a payment of $91, though he was trying to locate his policy number.
Social security numbers are private. I mean, you can get her name and birthday.
The passenger in the car realized the trooper's request and interjected, pointing out that the policy number could be found at the very top of the insurance document. The trooper acknowledged the information and apologized for the delay in finding it.
Okay, you have to take care of it through Tennessee then.
Yes, sir.
What they need to do is they want to see them at the courthouse, okay? I set a court date up all the way to October the 26th.
Okay.
If you can get it before then.
I can just pay my fines online or call them in, correct?
Well, yeah, but we have to go to court because of the registration. But I'm saying if they might let you fax that in. I don't know.
Okay. Oh, because we live so far away.
I'll give all the information for the courthouse in here, okay?
Okay. Oh, because we live so far away, you mean?
Right.
Okay.
So try to be careful, slow down for us, okay?
This is the...
He then inquired about the ownership of the vehicle, asking if it belonged to both the driver and the passenger. The passenger confirmed that it did. The trooper proceeded to ask for the passenger's social security number, but the passenger refused, stating that they were not comfortable sharing such personal information. In response, the trooper expressed frustration, highlighting the driver's reluctance to provide any identification. The trooper mentioned that he needed to determine the identities of the individuals involved, potentially checking for warrants. The passenger, asserting their rights as an auditor, reminded the trooper of their knowledge of their rights. The trooper quickly corrected himself and clarified that he didn't need the passenger's social security number. He suggested obtaining the passenger's name and date of birth instead. Flustered by the passenger's assertiveness regarding their rights, the trooper walked away for a second time. He then addressed the expired license plates on the vehicle, noting that they had expired in July. The trooper advised the driver to take care of the issue through Tennessee. The driver confirmed their intention to resolve the matter the following day. The trooper explained that the driver would need to go to the courthouse in Tennessee and mentioned that the court date was set for October 26th. The driver asked if they could pay the fines online or over the phone, to which the trooper responded they would still have to go to the court due to the registration matter. The trooper suggested that the driver might be able to fax the required information but was uncertain about specific details. As the interaction neared its end, the trooper advised the driver to be cautious and drive slower. He concluded by expressing frustration at the lack of information provided by the individual, stating that it was unnecessary for a routine traffic stop, and wrapped up the encounter by leaving the scene. Here's another incident of a cop involving black people.
You ain't doing nothing.
Yeah, I'm not.
Nothing. Sit down then. Sit on the floor.
A female officer was captured on multiple cameras in an incident involving black men outside a McDonald's in the White Oak section of Silver Spring.
Smart.
No, you're not.
If y'all stop running your mouths. Because that will get you out of here. Is your goal to get out of here sooner? Listen.
Oh, Lord.
Just let me so I can go. I'm talking to
Hey,
you.
you know what? Do I know you? No. I know that joker right there ran his mouth. I'm coming deep. Face up. I'm just going to pat you down, all right? Anything on you know about?
Nope.
All right. Don't mind if I look.
The officer's actions were recorded as she was heard using derogatory language, making racist remarks and mocking the men's speech.
No problem. Y'all came like this.
Would you be quiet so I can hear?
You're the best thing I got so far today, sweetheart. Well, you know what? Your cities probably want you back. You could by all means go there.
She was seen telling the men, "You ain't doing nothing." "Yeah, I'm nothing." "Sit down then. Sit on the floor."
Sutton. S-U-N-T-I-N. Sutton. There you go. Now we're talking English.
And now, the next and final case of today's video. Around 11 p.m. on May 30th, 2021, two police officers, Nicholas Hanning and Ellie Summers, who served with the Idaho Springs Police Department in Colorado, responded to a 911 emergency call. The call had been placed by Timothy Braden and his roommate Brittany Odom, who had recently moved into a new apartment building. They claimed that their new neighbor, Michael Clark, who was 75 years old, had assaulted Ms. Odom by punching her in the face following a dispute over noise levels.
No.
Hey, I'm out here. I'm Tim. This is Brittany. That was the neighbor right there. They're the ones that called. Wait. This is Brittany. She's the one that got hit. I live here. This is my friend Brittany. And then this is my neighbor that hit her. I wasn't even here. I was outside. I literally just saw you.
He banged on the door, or through the wall. Bam, 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 and I'm sleeping. Shut the up. And so I came out and was like, what's going on? He busted all of my shit. My nose, my mouth.
Upon receiving the call, officers Hanning and Summers promptly arrived at the apartment building and proceeded to knock on the door of Mr. Braden and Miss Odom's residence.
And he was like, shut the fuck up. Boom.
Was he white, black, Hispanic?
He's white.
Does he have hair?
Yeah.
Is he bald?
Gray hair?
Yeah, gray hair. He's an older guy. He's about this tall. And that guy lives right there in that room. And that's where the wall would go.
He was bang, bang, bang. That's what woke me up.
We just moved in here yesterday, but I saw him.
Aiming to address the reported incident, the police officers arrived at Mr. Clark's residence and knocked on his door without identifying themselves. When Mr. Clark answered the door, he was holding a collectible sawfish snout sword, which he explained he thought belonged to his neighbors, and he had grabbed it as a precaution for self-defense. Officer Hanning entered the apartment and seemed to push Mr. Clark, instructing him to put down the sword. Mr. Clark complied immediately and placed the sword back on top of a bookshelf. However, things escalated when Officer Hanning ordered Mr. Clark to step out of the apartment, while Officer Summers simultaneously instructed him to lie down. Mr. Clark refused to comply with either command. In response to the refusal, Officer Hanning suddenly deployed his taser without any prior warning. The taser hit Mr. Clark, causing him to fall to the ground and hit his head on a dining chair, leading him to lose consciousness. A court might reasonably determine that the incident involved the use of excessive force according to Colorado law. This conclusion could be drawn due to the fact that Mr. Clark was not under arrest when the taser was discharged, and there was no evidence indicating that he was attempting to harm anyone or flee from the scene.
I'm gonna put my dog in the bathroom, okay?
Okay.
What do you want? What the? Put it down! Put it down! Put it down! Get on the ground down! Back up. Get out here right now! Get out here!
Get
on the ground!
No. They hit that wall so hard, I thought they were going to come through the wall.
Even if there were such indications, Mr. Clark had not shown any signs that nonviolent methods would be adequate for the officers to detain him or prevent his escape. Following Mr. Clark losing consciousness, the officers refrained from seeking medical help and instead moved his unconscious body into the hallway. Subsequently, they requested emergency medical technicians to come to the scene. Officer Hanning then retrieved Mr. Clark's sword from the top of the bookshelf within his apartment and placed it in the hallway. Although they never openly admitted it, their actions seemed to suggest that the officers might have been attempting to create a crime scene.
Part's unconscious. Sir? 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 Sir, talk to us. Talk to me. Talk to me. Sir, talk to me.
That big bat that he's holding, that looks like a freaking...
Where did you find that? Did you have to hunt for it?
It was laying right there on the ground when I walked in. Alright.
I did not get that down.
Not arguing with you.
I did not get that down.
Alright. We're gonna sit up.
I did not get that down.
I'm gonna go down with you.
It was on.
You want him out of cuffs
up there.
up here?
Okay. Did you go in my apartment and look for weapons?
Mr. Clark, you're gonna sit up here.
Did you look in my apartment and look for weapons?
We don't need, they don't need to look out in the apartment. It was here in the hallway.
To give the appearance that Mr. Clark had been wielding the sword in an aggressive manner when the taser was employed. Despite the officer's threats, Mr. Clark was never arrested after being transported to the hospital. On June 1st, 2021, which was 2 days after the taser incident, Mr. Clark experienced a stroke while he was admitted to the hospital for a long time. In July 2021, Officer Hanning faced charges of third-degree assault against an at-risk individual.
What is going on? I've done nothing wrong. What did I do?
What's that?
What did I do?
Punch that girl.
Huh?
Punch that girl and then answer the door with a freaking machete, man.
Oh, no, that is absolutely false.
Alright.
Okay.
We're gonna stand you up.
I did not come after nobody.
Okay. You're dealing with me now. We're gonna go down to the ambulance so I can...
I was just in bed.
Alright, we're gonna stand up on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3, stand up.
I attacked nobody. I did nothing.
Sit
Does
back.
this look familiar?
I messed up on top there.
Just sit.
I did not come at anybody.
Sit down.
Swing your legs up. Swing your legs up. Sir, swing your legs up. Alright, feet please. Go into restraints.
Okay.
Which is classified as a Class 6 felony. Consequently, he was terminated from his role within the Idaho Springs Police Department. In January 2022, he pleaded guilty to the charge and received a sentence of 2 years of probation, 120 days of electronic home monitoring, and 150 hours of community service. However, no charges were filed against him regarding the apparent cover-up attempt following the taser incident involving Mr. Clark. Officer Summers chose to resign from her position at the Idaho Springs Police Department in October 2021, but she was not charged with any criminal offenses. Subsequently, in July 2021, Mr. Clark initiated a federal lawsuit against the Idaho Springs Police Department. On November 2, 2022, Mr. Clark's attorney publicly announced that the lawsuit had been settled for a sum of $7 million.